UI design. And let me explain this. Why do we believe this is a core in the tech industry? So this is the one field that binds them all. So UX UI design, it's like a bridge between the other two pillars. Like if you go to the very core and root of the tech industry, you're going to find that it's composed of data and code and algorithms. And then you have the user, right? But what is in between them? What bridges data and code with the user? It's UX UI design. I know it's kind of strange to wrap your head around that, but let me show you exactly what I mean. Is this appealing to you? So take a moment and think, do you guys want to interact with this? Are you guys excited about what you're seeing? Is this inviting you to take some sort of action? How about now? So basically, UX design translates all that data and all that code into intuitive and user-friendly experiences. So I think this is a quote from Maya Angelou or something like that, that it's that people are not going to forget how you make them think, but how you make them feel, something within those lines. I'm terrible quoting. But UX design, it's all about that. It's how do you make people feel? Do you make them feel seen? Do you make them feel like this is a place where they want to be? Is this engaging for them? Is not. Like UX UI design helps connect businesses with users, because you can marry businesses' goals with user goals. And basically, it's a translator between all that complexity that is data and code and all that stuff, and puts it into a way that it's exciting for the user. So as you can see, it's very core and very important. Think about whatever new tech development that you can imagine, and there has to be someone who is thinking about the end user and how can we make this product enjoyable, easy to use. Otherwise, you could have the most beautiful piece of code, and this piece of code was absolutely nothing until it interacts with the user, and the user is the one that puts value. The interaction is the one that gives a product value. So code by itself it's not important, but when you translate the code into a language, visual language that a user can interact with and enjoy, there is what the magic happens. So I don't know if you saw the latest launch of Apple when they launched their new VR set, and obviously an amazing piece of technology. And yeah, you can put on the glasses, and if you put them on, nothing happens. But when you start like projecting things, and we see things like maybe these messages and such, it's when it becomes interesting. And all those things the users see when they put a VR set, everything that they see was created or touched by a UX UI designer. So who are the UX UI designers? They are future shapers. We are always going to be, wherever the technology is going, we're going to be there creating new forms of interaction and communication with the users. As we mentioned, we are also bridges. We marry a ton of people that work in tech with the user. As I mentioned, imagine the most amazing app in the world that could solve every imaginable problem. Think about the worst problem that we have here in humanity, and think that there's a piece of code out there that fixes it. Until that piece of code interacts with another person, it's worth less. So that is the power of UX UI. We are also the human side of technology because we have to put ourselves in the shoes of the user. We have to understand how they feel, empathize with them, what kind of problems they have, what kind of needs, what kind of wants, so we can translate all those into positive interactions. So understanding if they have, for example, a problem and they are not being able to go to the bottom of the page for whatever reason, and understanding and thinking of ideas in how can we make this information more accessible to them. So we are the human side of the technology because we are the bridge between technology and people. And finally, I would say that we are experience enablers because the same thing. You have the user over here and you have the technology over here. They don't speak the same language. We enable the experience by creating a set of language, like written, visual interactions that create experience between the two of them. So we are experience enablers. So a very important question, or the most important question of the night would be, who can become a UX UI designer? And the answer is, before we continue, we would really love to learn how are we doing, if this content, and if you guys are enjoying this content, if what we're talking about, it's relevant for your experiences. So we truly value your thoughts. Please take a second to scan this QR code and take a very quick survey. This is not going to take you more than a minute. And by filling out the survey, you're going to receive a bonus of $250 off our foundations course. So I am going to anyway drop the link in the chat right now in case you guys find it easier to access via this link. But again, we work in UX UI design, and for us, your experience, it's very important. So by filling out this, you are just going to help us create things that are better for you. So thank you in advance for filling this form out. So the answer to our question. To answer our question. Who can become a UX UI designer? And the answer is basically many people from very different backgrounds make great designers. And I am going to share with you some examples of college degrees that are excellent fit. So we have, for example, artist, and you can say, yeah, obviously. Some skills that artists can translate into UX UI is creative thinking, visual storytelling, aesthetics, attention to detail. So all those skills that they build throughout their career, they can transfer, you can transfer into the field of UX UI design. People with a degree, for example, an English or literature degree, are amazing UX UI designers. You guys have strong communication, you have analytical thinking, and have the ability to process and understand complex ideas, which is extremely valuable, especially during the research phase. Psychologist, amazing fit for UX UI, like really a very natural, and I would say almost necessary transition, because you guys understand the user behavior, you guys are empathetic, you obviously are proficient in research and in analysis. So for you, making the transition to UX, it's very easy. Historians, also amazing researchers. You guys have critical analysis, amazing storytelling. There's a branch of UX that is UX copywriter, which basically help and structure, like, how do we tell this story? How do we tell this product story to the users? So great skills that you can transfer into this field. Also pattern recognition. Then we have graphic design. In graphic design, we have, I am transitioning from graphic design. So we have visual communication, layout design. We